Hey there, I thought I would take you on a tour of our three-dimensional displays for the JES Art Show 2017. Right outside my art room door is a display that my third graders created dedicated to the artist James Rizzi. If you enter my room, which shall we? Let's do so. The first thing you would see on the left is a display that the fourth graders had of their three-dimensional candy hearts that they created with plaster and an armature underneath. That project can be found on my blog with video. As we take a step further into the art room, there's even more candy displays, but I thought I would pan the room just to give you a view. All of the chairs had been stacked up, pushed aside, and the tables that the kids work at were used as displays. These here are my third graders' works of art dedicated to the artist Peter Anton. We created candy out of plaster. Right above that, I had a slideshow presentation of my students' photos with the wings. Again, more of those third grade works of art. They created the boxes, the candy heart boxes with paper mache and an armature underneath, and the plastic candies were made out of plaster. We had poured the plaster into various little containers like ice cube trays and egg cartons, popped them out, painted them brown, and then decorated them complete with puffy paint. That was a definite hit with both the kids and the folks at the art show. Panning the room just a little bit more, you'll see a different display entirely. Our theme was a pet shop, at least that was my original idea, so we had to have the room divided into different sections. And this here is the exotic bird and reptile area. The beautiful backdrop was created by my PE teacher friend Allie Starkweather, and those butterflies that you see were created by kindergarten and added to the front. Let's get a little bit closer to these displays. A lot of the displays you'll see, like the netting on the table, kindergarten made those turtles by the way, were purchased at the Dollar Tree. I went into the Dollar Tree and I found a lot of great things to help display. These birds were made by my second grade students, and that project was a huge hit with them. They absolutely love being able to create these exotic birds and add beads and feathers to them as well. Also featured on this table are the chameleons that my third graders created. This project was another huge hit, both with the kids and those who came to the art show. More birds, and just panning back so you can see a view of all of the chameleons, turtles, and exotic birds in that display. Again, a closer look at that backdrop. So my friend Allie spent, I would say, a couple of weeks on her plan time or just dropping by and adding a little bit of dabs of paint just to help with that backdrop. I always want to have something interesting behind the kids' clay display to really bring it more to life. A lot of those flowers and things you see, again, were from the Dollar Tree, as is the netting that's on the table. Again, those birds were a lot of fun for the kids to create, and so were those turtles. Who doesn't love stepping on clay and then having a really cool turtle project afterward? Panning back just a little bit so you can get a better view of what's up next is the fish section. Yes, I know my room is very large. It used to be the school library. I'm pretty fortunate. Next to that was the stuffed monster display. The stuffed monsters were created by my fourth grade artist. Let's get a closer look at these fish. My first grade students created ceramic fish. And to decorate that area, they also painted those large pieces of paper with lots of circles on them and bubbles. My second graders had recently finished a ceiling tile project where they had traced around a fish template. Instead of tossing those fish templates away, they painted them, which added another great dimension to that display. Here's a closer look at the fish. So again, like the birds, this was a two-part project, meaning the kids had to create the fish and the base both out of clay. Then I had to attach them. There's those fish that my second grade artist created, and a closer look at the clay fish, which I thought turned out pretty amazing. I love the speckled glazes. Let's talk about these stuffed monsters that my fourth graders created. They really enjoyed this project, even though for some of them it seemed to take all of eternity, as does, I have found, a lot of weaving and sewing projects. Some kids get it lightning fast. Other kids, they get it. It just takes them a little bit longer. But this was a project where not only did they learn an important life skill like sewing, but also could create a really fun and an imaginative and unique monster. They had to design them first, and then when we stitched them in such a way that the arms and legs were on the inside. When we flipped them inside out, the arms and legs popped out, which they thought was pretty magical. Then, like I said, they designed their monster in any way they liked, and we used a tacky glue to adhere the parts of the face. All of these lessons or these projects that I'm sharing with you can be found in video format on my YouTube channel, in my blog. So like I said, this was a huge hit, both with people at the art show and the kids who created them. Another fourth grade project, that's right, they had 3 projects on display in my room, were these bobblehead pets. So fourth grade had candy hearts, bobblehead pets, and stuffed monsters. Again, this was a big hit with those who came to the art show. The bobbleheads really do bobble if you tap on them. Unfortunately, some of them bobble a little bit better than others. We had one bobble right off its body and hit the floor and break. So that artist had to make a second one. But these were really fun. We used Mako's Stroke and Coat glaze to finish them off and give them a really beautiful shine. I love the giant collar on this one. And there you have it. That's what's happening in the art room at the 3-dimensional portion of the display. Thanks to all of the moms who helped make the art show wonderful. I'm about to share with you the 2-dimensional displays. Oh, we had face painting as well, which is a huge hit. And here's a little bit of a view of the excitement in the art room that night. Thanks for joining me on this little tour, guys. Stay tuned for the next one.